All right, folks, new day. We got oh, what is that? I think it's a 9 or 10 foot blade on here. So we got that in there. We did a couple small cuts. We did some trimming so the plate fits back on. So this thing's working like a champ. Still to just put an actual power switch in instead of just plugging it in and out for now. But yeah, this big guy is good to go. All right, so this round I want to get the tops of the bed done. Like, that's the goal anyways. If we get more done, that's bonus, but I'm gonna set a small goal because I got to do that. And then I picked up a few pieces to modify the bead roller. We picked up some gears and stuff, so I'm gonna have to modify that really quick, but that should help make that thing, give it plenty of juice to do things. I think we'll see if this is the way to go or not, or I think I'm still going to be cheaper than buying one of the motors like Carl had. I'll have to revisit that to make sure, but I think I'm just over 200 bucks now with this stuff and that motor that I have there to power this thing, and that should be all it needs. I threw one gear on here. We're gonna have to make some different shafts and things, but this one up here is probably still good, so we'll be able to stick one of our gears directly onto here and then chain drive down. We're just gonna have to build a jack shaft and probably cut a new plate in the back so I can support that with a bearing. And yeah, I think it's about that simple. A bearing has support on here, and then we'll have another bearing on the back just so nothing goes wobbly on me. And then this thing now, or the new plan anyways, oops, don't want to lose any parts here, is this thing's gonna sit down here, and then we'll have a bearing off the back, and then it'll just come up and then chain, and away we go. I got the biggest sprockets I could get because I can turn that thing up quite a bit, so I didn't do any math on it. I just bought the smallest sprocket I could get for that one and the biggest one I could get for that, so I think we are good to go. All right, well, maybe I'll do that really quick, because then we can go look at, oh, I carved up, I forgot to get wood again, so we trimmed up a few of our CAD panels here. So we're gonna trace these out and kind of give us a little designy poo of what we want to do here. We'll trim those, and then we'll add a little bit for the bent lip. For the most part, it would be pretty straight. And maybe we could get away with it doing, well, my brake's not that big. I'd like to do it in one piece if possible, but I guess you could do it in two pieces with the brake and then do the stretcher shrinker. But I would love to see if I can do this, draw it, use the bead roller to tip the edge, and I don't know, see if it comes out cleaner. That's the plan anyways. All right, let's do some bead rolling modification first. And then we'll get to the cardboard CAD there.
It's about the only way I can think of making a keyway. I just put my paring tool in there and just keep taking off a little bit. I need this a little bit because this gear's got to go on here, and it needs to have a keyway in there for it. And then this goes into my box, and then I want to put this bearing on the back to support that, and then in the front I need another bearing up here, and then I can do my sprocket, if that makes sense. Now I think I have this stuck on here. There we go. It's a little tight.
we've moved Ryder's truck in. The long-awaited waiting to get his truck in the shop. We don't know what the plans are yet, but we're going to start by just stripping the cab down. Or we're going to take the front clip off, and we want to pull the cab off. That is, I think, our goal. That way, if there's any rust or anything on the cab, we can switch that out. I think the big picture, we're probably going to put it on an S10 chassis or something. Don't know what we're doing for a motor or power plant yet, but I think for now, Ryder's mission is to see if he can get the front clip off, and then we'll work our way to the cab. That way it takes less space, but it can always sit around the shop while he takes time to work on it whenever he's got. Anyways, I'm gonna let him suffer through here and we made a bracket. Well, actually, we did a whole bunch of things. We machined this shaft that's in here. Well, you've seen me do that. Then I cut this bracket to which, because we got to support this thing because there's nothing holding it. So the bracket that I made, we're just going to boot this thing on, which is going to hold this bearing. Then we can put our gear on. I still have to cut a bracket in the back to support the rear bearing, so then this thing's supported properly. And I'll use this just to kind of like, I don't know, hold everything together. From there, we can take this unit, we'll kind of buzz it onto here, and then we can line up our sprockets and slap a chain on it. And hopefully this thing's going to have tons and tons of torque. That's the plan. All right, I'm rolling over here, checking out your suffering. You winning? Well, you got some bolts out. You're close, eh?
Yeah.
Close. Yeah, I think the goal is if we can get at least the front clip off. You're struggling on some of the hood bolts there, but now you just got, are they actually coming apart?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nicer than the other stuff? These you were having, oh yeah, you gotta do this one. The other one wasn't so good? Well, we should get some spray, put it on there. That way when you tackle it, it might be a little better. Alrighty, well, slowly getting there. Eventually we'll get the clip off and then we'll work our way into pulling the cab off. We'll have to actually clean this thing out, get all that junk out of there. Ryder's been making some pretty good progress here. What do we got here? He got the seat out. He started vacuuming, started cleaning. He's got a lot more doing because once he pulled the seat out, there's a lot more mess of things that have to come out of here. But hey, he's enjoying himself. That's all that matters. So up in the front, he's got a bunch of the metal, like a bunch of the fender bolts and things like that out. I think he's got the front one out. Well, she's still a little tight, but we'll see. Anyways, he's just kind of plugging away at it at his own pace, and hey, it is what it is here. We're not going to worry about the wiring, things like that. We're just going to be snipping a lot of that stuff. Like I said before, our goal is just to get the cab off the truck. We want to get the clip separated and then the cab off, because Ryder found a whole bunch of holes and stuff in his floors, which, hey, that's to be expected on an old vehicle. But we're going to make it much easier for him to repair it all by taking it off the truck. So there's there. This side looks like the body mount. Like both sides here, the body mounts have actually kind of blown out of here pretty good. Look at that. So we're gonna have to rebuild a lot of that stuff. I'll show you the other side here too, because it's pretty hosed. Let's see. Yeah, this one's like crazy blown out. Look at that thing. Golly, eh? This poor girl had a hard life. Well, I don't know if that's asking a lot out of the machine, but that works good. We actually just did 16 gauge. I don't have enough steel in 16 to actually do that lip, but that would have been killer. Look at that. A couple more passes. That's a testament to that frame. That's pretty heavy to do that. Cool. Okay. So there's a setup. I got to get some paint, but I want to try to figure out a chain adjuster on there yet. When this thing's in neutral, technically I could still put a handle on here if I had to do some weird finessing, but that's so far away from me, I kind of need a second person if I ever wanted to do that. But it works good. I'm pretty happy. Like, I did 16 without a hitch, so that's something to be said. I probably never need to go that fast. I probably just want to go as slow as possible half the time. I'm just wondering if I had one of the pedals that were variable speed, being a DC motor, if I'd be able to just set the fastest speed and then use your pedal to regulate the speed from there. Anyways, I'm pretty happy with that. Mint. Yeah, you can see my chunky adjuster for now. I have to still make some kind of a slide mech, I think, just to adjust the chain, but I think once the stretch is out of the chain, it'll be fine. Coolio. Good to go. All right. I guess then that means we move on to grabbing our CAD here and trimming up. I have this big 16 gauge, but there's probably enough on here, but well, maybe we will. Just because I can actually make that lip with that thing. Man. Well, do I? I don't know. I got the other steel. I don't know that the top is that important. We'll test. We'll make this pattern first, and then we'll kind of play it by ear, see if it's going to be two pieces or a single piece. The problem I have is if I have to do any shrinking, I'm kind of hooped. This thing, you just can't, I don't know, I can't stretch something this thick. And if I do the other one, I can at least put it in the kick shrinker there if I had to. So we'll see. We have a couple little junky pieces here of this 16, so maybe I'll experiment with it. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll just, well, we might be able to do it different then though. Do two pieces, we weld it. I might not have to roll the edge. I can almost come butt up to that edge, and then we can just weld it. Oh. Means I made that for nothing. Well, not really. I don't totally need that machine. I'm just wondering if I don't do this edge, that would look so much nicer with a rolled edge though. Had that. Now, does it really matter? I don't know. I wonder if we did that or we just butt it straight up. Then we could weld it, and then all it would be is a little schlook with mud, and it should be good. Would be nice and beefy. We may go with this. We'll see. We'll experiment, and then we'll bring you right back here. Well, this is my dilemma. This is why I should have templated this. Oh well, not a big deal. This should have had a swing to it. But we do have those two cut off tails here. I call them a tail. See this? Hopefully there's enough in here that I can do both sides without having to carve up a whole lot of stuff. Because it does follow the edge. Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. I just don't know how I go about to this piece. Anyways, we got that down here. I mean, the box is going to have a little bit of a weird shape to it, but the fenders are going to cover up nicely to it, so that's not too big of a deal. We will have to address the issue down on the bottom here, because personally, this is okay, but I don't like how there's this gap in here now. So I'll have to, we'll have to trim and get our fender to do something a little different, but I'm not going to sweat that right now. I'm just going to focus on getting the sides on here. So up here, yeah, I don't want to manipulate this too much more. I think I can do one more tack weld up here, and then either, I'm not sure. We'll do one more tack weld, and then maybe we'll just cut this thing blindly, and then we'll see how, if I can get two pieces out of this to finish my box up. So we'll zap that, we'll get that set up, take that off, and then we're going to do our cardboard template down, see if we can get some consistency going on here. well. I like it. I kind of boogered in a few spots, but hey, we can fix that. It's got a little yoink in there, but with the cover, meh, never gonna see it. Dig it. This is just a little, well, mind you, this fender's not in where it's supposed to be, but I like how it tapers out to nothing. Just not sure. I guess my top will go straight and it'll just end somewhere there. I don't know how far up this fictional gate filler panel is going to go, but you know, that works. We can easily fix this. I just bust a few welds and we'll fill it with weld, but again, when there's a top, nobody's going to notice. I like it. All right. You know what that means, right? I just got to do all the same stuff over here. And then we can get rid of the bracing because the box should be, well, close. We'll have to get this brace in the back here done. That should hold the whole back together. Like enough that the box, well, we got to do that, and then the front. We have to do, maybe we'll do that filler panel inside yet. That way I should be able to do it. Like we should have enough to do that piece. Because the 16 is strong enough, I don't have to put any beads or do nothing in it. So we'll kind of leave it at that. And again, you won't see it anywho, but I'll try to break it so we can kind of make the front part anyways. We'll kind of boom and then run it into this length. If I come down to here, I would like that. All right, so now we got to just do a whole lot of cutting. I'm stuck using the grinder because I don't really have anything that'll cut this stuff. It's pretty thick, like 16 gauge is quite a bit, so we got to run the messy process of cutting it all with a grinder, but we have patterns, so hopefully everything is the same. Well, it's going to have to be the same. I'm going to force it to be the same on the other side. Alrighty, let's get going. Well, that worked out pretty good. It's pretty bad. I forgot I had that saw. Well, I shouldn't say I forgot I had it. I didn't think of actually using it to cut these strips on. And they're a little long, but it worked super well. Other than my little bit of a crooked cut every now and then. But so we got the two sides done. I feel to get some strength back in here, just because everything's a little bit flop, I think we're going to make that front panel. Should be enough of the 16 to do the front and the kick, to which then we can figure out our supports and things after. But we'll do the face of it down. That clink should go. I'm kind of mounting this thing as high as I can. Hopefully the little bit of step down that I have and things in here will work out. From here we'll probably do some small angle iron or something inside for the lowest part, and we'll figure out where we're going from there. Other than that, like you said, we did kick it out. We got more than enough room with the wheels and junk there. I think we're going to measure, get this squared out, and then somewhere in here we're going to do that transition for this rear filler in here. Then we can take all our bracing off, and then technically the box should be pretty close. Well, we have some angle, so we might go in off something to the front of the off the rails, so the box can actually sit on the frame and not be zapped to it everywhere. That'd be ideal. Then we can probably try to work and see if we can get our fenders bolted on. But first things first, filler panel and cross brace. Then we can take this stuff off. folks. Fenders are now fully actually floating on there. Our box, I technically can bust the 2 welds in the front. The back is just sort of hovering. You just threw a quick brace in here till we figure out what we're doing, but I'll have to pull out the fuel tank out of the shed and figure out. I was gonna do taillights over in the fenders, but I think it is so boring and blank back here. I think we gotta do something. My plan is, I'm pretty sure I have a good, like a Camaro tank or something, or a Caprice tank. So I was gonna put that under the bed like normal, and then have the filler the same dealio behind the license plate. So I think if we're doing that, I'm gonna have to figure out some taillight treatment here. I guess we'll do something, French something in there, because it definitely needs something happening. That's just a big panel of nothing, right? Anyways, I think that looks pretty good. It's big, but it'll change once we get the... This side's nice and straight. This one we're gonna have to fix it up here and pop a couple welds. I must have did a goofy cut here. We're gonna have to straighten that thing out a bit. I have a lot of welding to do yet. Up there we gotta do, I had a bobo, but hey, you're not gonna see it once the top is on. Cut her, oh, why I cut it a little short. I guess I zigzagged when I shouldn't have. That thing is awesome. Bada bing. I don't know, I'm pretty happy. We'll have to build all the floor structure, but I might actually have to start doing a little bit of some stuff here, just so we can, it's a little more rigid so I can take the box off. It's sitting there, but it's still kind of, she's a little dangly. We're gonna have to get a straight piece in on here. I kind of want to build my humps where it kind of comes up like flush to this thing, but man, I don't know. That floor is gonna be a tough one in here. I need all the room I can get. I almost need it to be down, the sheet metal down here, and then we might leave these exposed and just cover them up a bit. Oh man, and we got to still put our air tank and things here. I'm remembering all the junk I need in here. Golly, we're gonna end up having a battery back there, I think. I have an air tank, some compressors, fuel tank. I really want to have a spare tire in there. That'd be ideal. Yeah, we'll figure it out. There's a lot of empty space up in the front. I can dump stuff, make little compartments. All right. Well, hey, pup. Alrighty, folks. I think that is where we're gonna leave this one. If you like this truck, everybody's been mentioning it, and I've been checking them out as well. Check out Carter Auto Restyling. Leave it up here somewhere. He's building a similar truck. I shouldn't say similar, but he's customizing. He's did a full section on it, so you can see where I faked my section by raising my fenders. He actually did pinch out the whole darn truck there. I'll leave a link here or in the description to him. Anyways, as always, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later. Okay. Ready? Want to go inside? Should we go in the house? You want to go in the house? All right, let's go. Let's call her a day, buddy.